Hello, everybody. I'm Alicia, and today we're going to get into the down and dirty of Greek mythology and the in between of Greek mythology and all the stuff that makes it and breaks it. Now, to give y'all a little taste and give y'all a little flair of Greek mythology, I'm gonna give you a story, and hopefully you can see where I'm coming from with Greek mythology. Now, one of the most famous stories in it is Daedalus and Icarus. Now, Daedalus is the dad, and Icarus is the son. Now, I'm gonna give you a short description of Daedalus because he's one of the most important person in this story. Now, Daedalus is a highly accomplished craftsman in Athens. He's an architect, and he do sculptures and do inventions. Now, Daedalus and Icarus are trapped in this sort of mine somewhere. But this is where it gets juicy. Daedalus tries to invent wings to help him escape from his captive. Now, Daedalus warns his son Icarus. That's who's going to escape. He built wings for his son to escape, Icarus to escape. Daedalus warns his son to not fly too high, because if you fly too high, the sun will melt you. And if you fly too low, this water will get you. Now, he said, fly in the middle. Now, fly in the middle. He didn't listen to neither one of his dad's suggestions. And you know what happened to him? He ended up passing away. So yeah, that really teaches you a moral. Okay, that's the main thing about Greek mythology. They're teaching you morals of the story, and they're teaching you morals that you have to live by to better yourselves. Now, as we're getting deeper into Greek mythology and more about different things, you start to get into folklores, legends, fairy tales, stuff that you're more interested in and you're more used to. All right. So as we start to get into it, let's start off. What is mythology? What is Greek mythology? I don't know what that is. Now, myth is a story that is shared by a group of people and is part of a cultural identity group. Now, myth comes from mythos, which is an original speech. Is an original speech, and it's really a basic way of saying fables and legends. Now, myths, they can get passed down from anywhere. They can get passed down from your grandma, from your family member, anywhere. Mythology is a collection of some stories that form a system based in particular culture or society. Now, a lot of people end up using this in their lives to tell their children or tell them really different things. But the main key is to keep the interest. Gods that are personified or regular humans with supernatural powers. That is what keeps a myth very interesting and actually a myth. Now, the two primary functions of mythology is one, answer questions a kid may ask. You don't know how many times a kid will ask you, how was the world invented? Mommy, where do babies come from? Yeah. I'm a kid myself, but you know little children do ask that. And your answer may be, God made the earth is, when the earth rains, that's God crying. That's a myth. Or storks, like the storks bring the babies down from heaven and boom, you have a baby. That's a myth. And the second is to explain the traditional customs, beliefs, and values of an existing society. Yes, you must, when you're doing a myth, you always want to do the custom beliefs. That's what makes a myth original and what makes it unique. And that's how the myths get their flavor. Now let's get more deeper into mythology, Greek mythology. Now, folklore is a term that encompasses a cultural oral traditions. That's basically, as a folklore goes down the line of generations, they add their own twist to the folklore. It's passed down orally by generations. Now, let's break down a folklore. There are mainly three different types of folklores: legends, folk tales, and fairy tales. I'm gonna start off with legends. Okay. Legends tell stories on mortal people and their actions. Characters may be re-mentioned in written history as they lived more recently. Now, legends, they are really people who live in recent history. Like I said, there are people like, for example, as we go into the like future, we might have a legend about Barack Obama, how he might have brushed his teeth every time he ate candy. We don't know if that's true, but it's as people go down the line and people tell it, people start to believe it, and it becomes a legend. Next, we're going to talk about folk tales, because legends, they weren't that big. They're not that interesting to people, and they're not that popular. Now, folk tales are ancient stories that do not have a single identifiable author. They have been passed down orally from generations. Now, folk tales are something that many people that tend to have, they tend to tell their children. Now, according to history.com, Krampus is one of the most popular folk tales there is. Krampus is basically a evil Santa Claus who comes to give children coal for Christmas, naughty children. And no one knows the author who made Krampus. Who does? Now, the last one, and one of my most favorite, is a fairy tale. A fairy tale is a type of folk tale, usually of a person with royal stations and always end happily. Cinderella. Cinderella is a good example of a fairy tale. Cinderella had many obstacles that really challenged her to actually keep her in good character. She always maintained a good character through it. She had her evil stepsisters, her evil stepmother. She lost her shoe at the ball, which turned out to be actually a blessing, because she ended up getting the prince and living happily ever after as a princess. Now, to close it all together, Greek mythology is a very unique and very odd thing to talk about, which is mainly the reason why no one talks about it. But as you break down Greek mythology, we use Greek mythology every day. We use it as legends, folk tales, fairy tales. We use it like literally every day, y'all. And I feel like as we go into more down the line, more down generations and generations, folk tales and legends is what's going to keep the originality in the United States and all across the world. And if we don't have Greek mythology, what do we have? A boring life. Thank you.